How's it going, guys, and welcome back. In this video, we're going to be checking out how we can recruit both Opera and Ernest in Star Ocean, the Second Story remake. We're including both of these characters in the same video as both of their quests are very much intertwined. The first thing we need to know is that you won't be able to recruit either of these characters if you decided to recruit Ashton earlier on. And the second thing is that we need to advance the story until just after the tournament that takes place in the city of Liquor, and just before doing the events in Linger where you meet Keith. So it's quite a short window of when it's actually available to recruit these members, so if you are interested in them, definitely be careful. So assuming you've just finished the tournament that takes place in the core, you want to go back to Hilton. Hilton is the small port town where you first land on this second continent. If you go inside the bar, you'll meet Opera for the first time. In the original game, this used to be a PA event, but now it's simply a time event that automatically starts if you go inside the bar. Also, for those of you wondering, in the original game, it is true that you needed to activate a PA event in Cross near the start of the game. However, in this, it's automatic, so you don't need to worry about that one. Anyway, after the conversation you have with Opera here in the Hilton bar, you want to go back to the Cross Castle. Again, to gain audience with the king, you first need to speak with the receptionist here on the left-hand side in the entrance to the castle, and then simply walk up to the throne room and you'll have a short conversation with the king. After the conversation, he'll grant you access to the Mountain Palace. If you haven't yet been to the Mountain Palace before, it's this dungeon here on the northwestern side of the first continent. It's very easy to find. Once you're inside the Mountain Palace, simply follow the quest markers to find Opera. Though I would recommend exploring a little bit inside here as there's some pretty good treasures to be found. When you catch up to her here on the stairs, this is where she'll ask if you pretty much want her in the party or not. This isn't the end of her side quest, so if you just want her in the party, you can just say yes here and then pretty much leave. However, we haven't quite finished her side quest yet. And if you're interested in recruiting Ernest, you 100% have to finish Opera's side quest. Now, assuming we do want Ernest as well, simply click yes, we do want her to join the party, but don't leave the Mountain Palace quite yet. We want to continue venturing on, following the quest markers until we get to this lab. Once we get to the lab, there will be a short cutscene, and here Opera will officially join the team, let's say. Now, the next step is very important and missable. If you don't do this next step, you won't be able to get Ernest later on. Once Opera has joined the team, we want to go back to the Sacred Forest. This is the one right at the start of the game where Claude first lands, just below Alia. In here, you'll notice there's actually another timed event where you'll see Opera's crashed ship. So make sure you're actually doing this quick event with Opera here back in the Sacred Forest before continuing the story. Once that is done, you can finally continue on with the main story all the way until you get to the Hoffman Ruins. After completing the Hoffman Ruins, just by the entrance while you're exiting, there'll be another quick cutscene taking place with Opera and Ernest. This event will only happen if you remembered to do the Sacred Forest event with Opera. After the fight, you now have to decide whether you want to accept Opera and Ernest into your team or not. They come as a pack, so if you press yes, you'll get both of them. If you press no, they will both leave. If for whatever reason you want Opera and not Ernest, the way to do this would be to recruit Opera and then simply don't do the events in the Sacred Forest, and that way you won't get this cutscene with Ernest and he will never be recruitable. So that's all there is to it, guys. I hope you did find this video helpful. If you did, don't forget that thumbs up button, subscribe for more content coming very soon, and we'll see you next time.